few Sullivan sisters. I never get tired. Robert Frost had a line in one of his poems that said, the purpose of my life is to combine my vocation with my avocation. You can see I've done that. Now I'm delighted to preface the results of the Browning High School Poetry Contest, which has been going on for many years. I'm not quite sure how many. We are 107 years old as a society, the second oldest literary society in America, the oldest in New York. The oldest, in fact, is the Browning Society, which may have even predated, it might, I'm not sure, the London Browning Society, but I think not. We have the president of the London Browning Society with us today, and he'll straighten us out, Scott Lewis. But this poetry contest is embedded in the public and private school ethos of this city. And we're expanding it every year. And the man who has done such a superb job in doing so has the middle name Browning. Just happens. James Browning Kepple, poet and manager of the Browning Poetry Contest.
Hi, how's everyone doing tonight? Woo! It's not even tonight, is it? I was going to write a speech. I did that last year, and I decided against it to see how good my oratory skills were. Welcome to the bicentennial of Robert Browning. This is the conclusion of the bicentennial year of Robert Browning's birth here at the National Arts Club. I'm glad you guys all made it out. We had a fantastic contest this year. And like what Stephen was speaking to, I'm just really happy to be a part of it because I started out personally. I published my first book at the age of 17, and I won a couple of high school contests when I was a freshman or sophomore. So it was a big inspiration to me, just keep me going, to keep my inspiration, keep my passion alive. And therefore, I feel really excited, and to be totally honest with you, I feel real happy about the fact that I get to participate in this once more. So I want to thank everyone. Let's thank everybody that has won the contest right now. We have 4 winners, and we also have 6 short-listed winners. If we give a round of applause for everyone that's shown up. Most of them are sitting right over here. What we're going to do tonight, or today, I like this midday adjustment. We're going to have each of the 4 winners read their winning poems. And then we're going to have one of our either actors or poets read the poem as well. However, this has all been kind of last minute put together in the sense that we are still expecting 2 of our winning poets, but I imagine that they'll show up right now. Anyway, so without further ado, we're going to give away for our first winning poet of this season, which is for a poem entitled The Meeting, based upon Robert Browning's poem, Isabella Lewis from the Spence School. If we could have her come up and read her poem. Thank you very much. Just to let you guys know that she is an official winner. This is her certificate. This is her complimentary copy of Browning's collected poems, and also a check for $100 for a winning poem. Well, that's pretty fantastic. Without further ado, Isabella Lewis.
Hi. The meeting. The sea and the land, and the moon and the waves, and the sand and the beach, and the farm and the match, and the voice and the love. He paints them gray and long, and yellow and startled, and slushy and warm sea-scented, and beyond 3 fields, and lighted, and less loud, and at last. Thank you.
Now we have a really special guest to read this poem. Tammy Grimes has agreed to read this poem. If we could have her come up to the stage, that would be an absolute amazing treat. Let's give a warm round of applause for Tammy Grimes, ladies and gentlemen.
Isabella Lewis, inspired by Robert Browning's Meeting at Night. The meeting, the sea and the land, and the moon and the waves, and the sand and the beach, and the farm and the match, and the voice and the love. He paints them grey and long, and yellow, and startled, and slushy, and warm sea-scented, and beyond the 3 fields, and lighted, and less loud, and at last.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tandy Cronyn. So there's more to this story. There's also a co-judge to this competition, Stephen Motika. Unfortunately, he was not available to make it last minute. He's the program director at the Poet's House. If you guys haven't had a chance to check out the Poet's House, it's on Battery City. It's an amazing library. It's the most extensive collection of American poetry available in the United States. Once again, it's an excellent, and he apologizes profusely that he couldn't hear, but he also gave his analysis on each of the winning poems. So for The Meeting by Isabella Lewis, he said, Isabella Lewis's The Meeting is a lean lyric poem about the landscape and the painter painting that landscape. Using words from Browning's Meeting at Night, Lewis repeats the word "and" at the start of 10 of her 12 lines, creating an extended an iterative sense of possibility, extending her poem's music and the resonance of her image. Once again, Isabella Lewis, ladies and gentlemen. So of the 4, we've got 1 down. Let's go to number 2. This is going to be Eero Arum. Let's give a round of applause for Eero Arum of the High School of American Studies in Bronx, New York, for his winning poem, Ode to the Peeling Walls of the Schoolhouse in Chankom. By the way, winning certificate, book, check.
This is a poem called Ode to the Peeling Walls of the Schoolhouse in Chankom that's inspired by my experiences traveling in the Yucatan Peninsula. We wandered in the rooms that night. The maps were falling off the walls. The moon shone down a tranquil light, a faint dim white, enveloped all. The roof was gone, the doors broken, the desks and chairs were overturned. With no fence, the school was open, a place where children once had learned. A boy sat on the street outside. He watched us wander in the room. His sullen face, bereft of pride, showed years of aging far too soon. My eyes darted away. I was guilty. Christ was nailed to the cross, and he was looking at us. I saw something in his eyes. Apathy? His eyes said nothing.
Thank you, Eero. And to read Eero's winning poem, we have the lovely, delightful, and talented Tandy Cronyn, if she would grace us with her presence on the stage. Let's give a round of applause for Tandy.
Ode to the Peeling Walls of the Schoolhouse in Chankom. We wandered in the rooms that night. The mats were falling off the wall. The moon shone down a tranquil light, a faint dim white enveloped all. The roof was gone, the doors broken, the desks and chairs were overturned. With no fence, the school was open, a place where children once had learned. A boy sat on the street outside. He watched us wander in the ruin. His sullen face, bereft of pride, showed years of aging far too soon. My eyes darted away. I was guilty. Christ was nailed to the cross, and he was looking at us. I saw something in his eyes. Apathy?
His eyes said nothing.
Absolutely beautiful. So Stephen Motika's comment, just coming in via text message, is Eero Arum successfully straddles the demands of a lyric poem, utilizing in rhyme and representing the point of view of a 21st century subjectivity. Beautifully constructed, this poem offers a subtle meditation on privilege and observation, moving from the physical details of a broken building to the harsh reality poverty instills on a young boy's life. Once more for Eero Arum, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the point where we get creative. Let's see. Our next winner is from the Collegiate School. His name, in fact, is George Preudhomme, and he also, like many of us students today, was attending an AP exam and was running late. Raining cats and dogs outside. It seems that he may not be here. He's here, George! George Preudhomme! Woo! Thank God for that. Just let me give him a little aside.
Does that make sense? Do you have the text?
So wow, let's give it up for George. Once again, our winner. Signing book, check, and certificate. Let's hear The Fall of Morningstar.
So this is an excerpt from my poem, The Fall of Morningstar, which is written in the perspective of one of Satan's liege and attempts to pay homage to John Milton's Paradise Lost. O chaos, black-hearted mother of all that's impure, shake off the pangs of age most ancient and recount to me the tale of Satan our Lord, morning star who fell most far. O chaos, black-hearted mother of all that's impure, sing of heavenly subjugation, recount rebellion most just, and if thou must, spin out from the thread of memory eternal that most wicked fall, that most sable, scholastic, serpentine fall. From his throne of light, rumbling with the thunder of power everlasting, the tyrant called forth his blessed stock, seraphs fit with snow-white wings, who, honored above all others, hastened to receive the oppressor's divine decree. From the depth of his chest, bathed in light unstained, he whom the cowards call Lord thus spoke. Listen well, ye faithful of the Lord Almighty, hearken your ears, forged from stars' light by these hands omnipotent, to hear the decree that shall be for you law unbreakable. Look, turn thy eyes to a sight most beautiful, the unquestioned Son of your Lord, and exalted above even the stars ethereal. You shall call him Lord, as he is made of the primal matter, the material divine from which I myself am made. You shall look upon him and bow with praise. Lower your eyes and fall to your knees, servants of him who shall be first before all others.
This is actually something else we'll add to all this, is that all of our winners and our shortlist, we had an amazing contest this year. Over 75 high schools were invited to participate from the public and private sector. But what we've done is we published all of the winners and the shortlist at www.writethis.com. So you can get you can actually read the poems for yourself after the evening. This particular poem by George is probably one of the biggest poems I've ever seen of this caliber of an individual, and so we for time constraints, we cut it down. So, and the continuation. Almighty Father, omnipotent Lord and Master of space and time eternal, Sire of all that is and will be, why? Why am I dejected thus from the tender care of your arm that was to me a paradise? Once the most exalted of your liege, I stand here no longer kissed by blissful sunlight, but covered in dark shadows, caked in grotesque grime of subservice to he who is to be no Father, no Lord. Almighty Father, why am I no longer in the sun? Most dutiful, most loyal to you, my Lord eternal, now debased, a member of the common flock, as if I were a serpent groveling in the filth and dust and trampled by the foot of he who holds my place. Thus now I slither, lowest of all creatures, and unwanted by he, the Creator. Is this the cruel cast of my fortune? Do the hoary fates so incline? Nay, I cast off this vile slime, these serpent's scales, and arise an immortal, potent, beyond ye, no longer my father. Satan, dripping with fury, bred from pain, clutched his heart as he yelled before God. Turning to the angels assembled around him, Satan with angry words beseeched, Dost ye call thyselves cowards? Call thyself slaves, servants, groveling scoundrels, cowering abject dogs, sheep for wolves, deer for lions, snakes? Snakes, I am no snake, nor shalt be thou. Thou shalt not be food for the predator. Look upon thyself, search thy soul, deep within the caverns of corpus divine, and remember strength. Power thy truth roll, cast thy eyes below the belt, look between light-filled legs, and make sure the symbol of ancient strength. Find ferocity long ago lost, for I call upon ye, neglected sons of he most cruel. Take up arms, steady thy hearts, take back that which is justly mine. It's George Preudhomme's The Fall of Morningstar, ladies and gentlemen. Stephen Motika describes George Preudhomme's The Fall of Morningstar as it brilliantly engages and extends Milton's obsession with the satanic and delicious dark side of humanity. Expansive and alliterative, Preudhomme revives the terrain of epic poetry in his punning and playful long poem. Let's give another round of applause for George Preudhomme, winning. All right, so magic happened last time when I called out a name. Oren!
Yeah.
Wow! Absolutely amazing. So our fourth friend of the con is Oren Koralashvili. And,
It should be.
It's on the floor.
ah, perfect. Winner of this year's New York Browning Society Poetry Contest, Oren will receive all sorts of things. His winning poem is entitled Let's give it up for Oren Koralashvili.
The Eyes That Told, inspired by Robert Browning's Love Among the Ruins. In the corridors of unspoken bonds and the fields in which we once laid upon, amid the sanctuary of our hopes was the absence of the world we must cope. In hope, our troubles do subside with no touch of the life we have defied. Tonight I lay and sleep without a sigh, but with lips unforgiving and lips dry. There is art in this bond of broken glass, mosaic, however, a pastless past. And with a blissful grace, this hope I still embrace. Sleep still on this shadow-tormented floor, cradled in your arms, the man you adore. Without love, for the stars up above, but for a touch of life in all its light, I would rather die with your eyes in sight. In my dream, only you reign supreme. The ships that endure like our aging skin evade the sea's wrath, weak to win again. How I fear this soft and soothing ear, too calm for the mockingbird to sing in, yet its song still hums, passion within. This strange beast, oh strange beast, how you make me look deceased. I cannot escape the way you reprise, darling, the despair in your lovely eyes. Thank you.
Wow.
And we'd like to have Pulitzer Prize winning poet Richard Howard come up and read Oren's poem, if we could. If we could round of applause for Richard Howard. The eyes that told.
I'm going to do something a little different. Oren?
Yep.
Right.
We have the same glasses.
I think when I still think I can remember when I was in your situation of winning a prize and worrying a little bit about all this fuss. And what was that what I had done and what you have done? I suspect that you will have, as I have, you will have feelings about your success that might alter the positive aspect of what you've done, and I'm going to try to read part of your poem at least, well, most of it, but with some, as it were, alterations. And I beg your pardon?
Closer to the mic.
Yes, it's all right. Maybe I'd like to miss it. I would like to show you how one turns what one has so successfully brought forward. I'd like to see how you might feel about taking another look at it. Eyes that hold the secret curse. In corridors of unspoken bonds and fields which we once lay upon, amid the sanctuary of our hopes was the absence of the world with which we must cope. In hope, our troubles will subside with no touch of the life we have defied. Tonight I lie and sleep without a sign, but with dry lips. There is, in this bond of mosaic glass, a pastless past. And so, with blissful grace, this hope I still embrace. Sleep still on this shadow-tortured floor. Cradle in your arms the man you adore. Without love for the stars above us. Yet, add one touch of life, and all is light. I would rather die with your song in the sound of my dream. Like ships that endure, like our own aging skin, evade the sea's wrath, too weak to win again. How I fear this soft and soothing year, too calm for the mocking bird, yet its song still rings the passion within. Strange bird, oh, strange beast, you look deceased. I cannot evade the way you mock the despair in your lovely eyes. I will hope not that you remember this as a revision of what you wrote, but as a reminder that, at least it seems to me, it has been my experience, that one at a certain point in one's existence is quite eager to return to one's achievements and remark on their fragility and their hopes and their possibilities. You have them.
Richard Howard, ladies and gentlemen. Stephen Motika, our guest, our ghost judge, says, Oren artfully and convincingly employs the closely metrical iambic foot with steadfast end rhymes in this reimagining of love and mortality in this poem inspired by Browning's Love Among the Ruins. This young formalist makes his mastery look easy, creating a rhythmic and compelling contemporary poem. Let's give it up for Oren one more time. So there were also a short list. If I could actually just have a moment to support everyone that came out. If we can have all of the shortlisted people stand up and maybe receive a little bit of applause as well. Claire Chang from the Brearley School, Ashley Tarenti, Dominique De Niro from the Mary Louise Academy, Noah Reagan, Benjamin Jacobs, and Morgan Augustus Miller from the Browning Society. We want to thank everyone for participating in this year's contest. And you can view all of their selections at www.writethis.com. Check them out, and we'll be doing this every year. And thank you very much for having me in the Browning Society in your life. Take care, guys.
Which is the girl from
Well, that was quite stirring.
From Brearley.
And this is the selected numbers, but they're all wonderful. You have a chance to see what young people have to say, and they have to say a great deal. A great deal.